Hey yo, what's going on, all my gamers, all my reaction gamers? Chat, the Gen Z gender war. I don't know what this is about, but it has anime characters, chat. You know, things being explained to me through anime terms is it's gonna have me locked in, chat. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna listen in closely and see what is going on about. But let's watch this video.
Gen Z is currently at war,
Uh-huh.
but not the kind of war being fought with weapons or bombs, but something far more dangerous. Feelings. We're in the middle of an ongoing divide between men and women that's only getting worse. Women say it's men's fault the world is the way it is today, and men are saying the same thing right back. And the biggest battlefield this war is being waged on is social media. We're in the trenches of the TikTok algorithm.
Oh my gosh, chat. I'm not gonna lie, TikTok. TikTok is interesting, right? I am now getting a lot more relationship stuff on my TikTok, which I didn't want that. Hell no, I don't want that. Every time I open up TikTok, the first thing I want to see is a gacha game, or like an MMD with something like, I don't know, some dancing stuff from Genshin or Honkai Star Rail or something like that, or even Wuthering Waves. But man, TikTok, I can see why people go crazy watching TikToks all day, because those videos, man, they break you down, brother. That's for sure.
And the fighting continues on the Twitter timeline.
God, it's so bad on Twitter. I, of course, now that I'm becoming trying to be a lot more involved in the VTuber community and trying to, do more VTuber content or related content as, a VTuber myself, man, that was a mistake. Man, every time I open up Twitter, I refresh it. Why is everyone in the VTuber space fighting? Why is there a Google Doc every other day? I don't understand. What am I missing, bro?
This has been happening for a while now, but sadly, none of the commentary around it has been productive.
Oh,
no one is actually trying to understand the issue.
Nope.
It's just one side trying to tell the other that they're wrong. People are constantly doubling down and turning every interaction between men and women into a pointless power struggle. Drama is heating up on Love Peninsula. I'm just gonna let your sister. Oh, really? Hi, sister. I mean, yeah, she looked better. Oh my God, you were so. I can't stand him. He's so toxic. I mean, honestly, I kind of agree with him. She really did him dirty. Are you serious? He literally manipulated her. Okay, but she was flirting with that other guy in the hot tub. That was before they were a couple. This is the problem with men. You guys never understand women. Well,
you think Stark would talk back to Fern like that? I don't know, chat. I wouldn't want to get on Fern's bad side. I'll tell you that much. No, thank you.
Women are always the ones making it complicated. Oh, so it's about women now? Well, you made it about men. You know what? You should sleep on the couch tonight. I'm not sleeping on the couch. This is my house. Gen Z,
and then he slept on the couch. Chat, you know what? Sometimes it ain't worth it. I think that's what some people got to figure out. The whole arguing. You know what, babe? Sorry. That's on me. I apologize for that. You know what I'm saying? It's sometimes it's just not worth it, chat.
Is constantly battling loneliness, mental health struggles, and a general lack of community. And constantly fighting each other isn't making it any better.
True.
We're in this weird spot where we have a bunch of men who hate women, but also want to date women, and a bunch of women who hate men, but also want to date men. So everything is just extremely hostile all the time. The weird part, though, is that each side swears that they have it worse than the other, when in reality, we're facing a lot of the same problems. A lot of men talk about a male loneliness epidemic, and say that it's difficult for them to approach women. But many women are also dealing with loneliness and feel uncomfortable and awkward when they interact with men. But
I mean, obviously, I feel like women are gonna. I mean, if men are lonely, doesn't it make sense that a certain percentage of women are also going to be lonely, especially the ones that are interested in men? Like, I seen a statistic, like the amount of men not being in relationships went up, or like up compared to women. And it's like, wait a minute, shouldn't that be equal? Barring your preferences, of course. It's like, if you're straight and a man and they're a straight woman, shouldn't that number be equal? Isn't that how that works?
Instead of coming together, everyone just blames each other. Male loneliness is being branded
Oh god, that Chun-Li skin is so nice. Sorry, go ahead.
As a male loser epidemic, and people are trying to make their exceptions to
I heard that one, the male loser epidemic. Man, I'm definitely not helping in that situation. Anyways, go ahead.
Who deserves to feel lonely. I know it's easy to pretend that loneliness only happens to people we don't like, but a lot of this only happens to people we don't like. But a lot
I'm so glad that didn't start off from the beginning.
Drawing lines where they don't belong only takes our focus away from the real issue. Gen Z as a whole are struggling. That's what this entire thing is about. Women have the idea that all men want to do them harm, and men have the idea that women are evil demons who want to traumatize them. And to be honest, there's a lot of credit to those feelings. Young people especially are very vulnerable to violence and harm in their relationships.
I mean, you know, not all women, but at the same time, not all men. It's kind of hard, you know. It's a case by case basis channel, so I accidentally put on that. Let me take that off and then try to remember where I was. There we go.
There are dangerous people out there, and it's important that we're cautious about who we trust to be in our lives. But I don't think it's healthy for us to constantly live in fear of each other either. But because men and women don't talk, we automatically assume the
I love his editing style, the way he puts like the anime characters'
worst
heads
about each other. However, despite this, Gen Z is still longing for connection. Both men and women are still seeking companionship with one another.
Same,
but
dude, same.
Nobody knows how to do it anymore. There's a lot of politics involved in dating now, and a lot of it is the result of negative experiences on both ends. Many women have had a lot of negative experiences with men on an individual level, which causes them to be more wary of men in general. They recognize potentially problematic behaviors in guys, and as a way to protect themselves, distance themselves from men. And many men have also dealt with women who have genuinely tried to do harm to their lives, reputations, and mental health as well, which causes a lot of men to be discouraged from approaching women entirely. And before I continue, speaking as a man who has a primarily male audience,
he's a low-key kind of chill guy.
When it comes to these dangers, women are just a bit more vulnerable than we are. Men can be victims of a lot of the same things that women face. I, unfortunately, have experienced it myself. But we live in a world where women are the ones put in danger more often. It's something to keep in mind because I remember having a conversation with a female friend once that put things into perspective for me. It's so hot this summer. I've barely been able to go outside and take a walk. Yeah, the weather's crazy. That's why I go on walks at night. You go on walks at night? Yeah, it's so much better.
Oh, yep, that's gonna be weird.
Not as hot and it's nice and quiet. You should really give it a try. So you think I should go outside and walk around at night? Yeah, what's the problem? Yeah, a 21-year-old woman outside alone at night. What could possibly go wrong? Oh, yep, you get it now? You're scared of the dark. No, even outside of...
Of course. I knew it. You don't have a flashlight on you. No. I mean, I get it, especially like as a man who is out at night a lot. Not because, you know, I'm out partying or anything, but because I work the night shift. I never really feel like I'm ever in danger when I'm outside. You know, I'll sometimes even look around a bit because some people will leave trash in the yard. I'm like, huh, that's kind of weird. So I'll go walk up to it, and it's like 4 a.m, and then it's like pitch black out, and I don't really care because it's like, you know, I never not feel safe comparative to like, you know, I'll sometimes even see joggers if I come home early or late enough, depends on how you look at it. And it's always like men jogging. I'm like, huh. You know, it says a lot, I guess, right?
Relationships, it seems like men and women can't even be friends anymore. So instead of talking to each other,
that one's weird because I actually mostly have, especially as a VTuber, I mostly have female friends, right? I don't really know that many male VTubers. I don't think so. No. Even in the gacha space, one of my closer friends she's a female.
we turn to social media to tell us about each other instead. And sadly, this only makes it worse. The problem is that social media exaggerates minor issues and makes them seem bigger than what they are. So we're constantly living under the pressure of unrealistic expectations and made up scenarios that have a lot of young adults walking around with a lot of personal insecurity. And those insecurities make us hypersensitive to any interaction with the opposite sex. Sometimes I'm on my phone and the way some people respond to
that reminds me, that's never something that's bothered me, Chad. I'm not I'm not 6 foot. I'm 5'6". It's never bothered me. Is that weird? Well, Mexicans are usually short, so Latino women are short. So I guess I've never, growing up around Hispanic people, it's never really bothered me. I've never really had a Hispanic girl tell me that my height bothers them. But maybe I've just been sheltered. I don't know.
Things on social media, you think they killed someone. Just for me to go through the thread and see the most harmless post ever.
Wait, what did that say?
Even the most simple killed someone. Just for me to go through the thread and see the most.
Wait, so girls don't be pee. Chat. Remember, piss is stored in the balls. Go ahead.
Harmless post ever. Even the most simple disagreement.
Such a stupid post. Sorry, it made me laugh.
End up becoming commentary on both men and women at large. We're throwing everyone in the boxes they don't fit in. And now the things that make us unique are instead used to criticize and classify us. From our dating preferences, sexuality, career choices, and even our hobbies and interests. There's no room for individuality anymore. It feels like everything you say and do is judged against every other person. So if you're too different, you're being performative. But if you're too similar, then you're just like all the others. A man who has any criticism about any woman for any reason. I
guess I'm still sort of in a minority with my interests because despite what was the number that they just released? Genshin was at 300 million players worldwide. I still am the only person, and so you have the people at work or my coworkers. I work at a warehouse. So narrow down my interests, right? Anime kind of higher because, people are more into anime now, but video games, a lot of my coworkers aren't into video games. I can name a few of them, but there's not a lot of them. And now narrow it down even more by having mobile Chinese gambling games. I feel like I'm in such a minority. It's kind of insane, even with games that aren't Chinese, like, Uma Musume, and it's blown up all over the internet. I still think I'm the only person that I know IRL that plays Uma Musume.
Is labeled an incel, but a woman who has anything positive to say about a man in any context ever is labeled a pick-me. Obviously.
That's the one that so a lot of name calling never really bothers me. But seeing a female VTuber get called to pick me, just because they want to support men and back up men whenever it comes to whatever, and especially the ones that come to mind are like Kitsunero, Shy Lily, the ones that have come out and been harassed because of it. I think Rosie as well. It really pisses me off because it's they didn't do anything wrong. They just supported men. And for some reason that warrants them getting harassed on Twitter. And it's just so obnoxious. That is the only time I'll ever let Twitter get to me, bro. It's so obnoxious. I don't know. I just think people are silly.
Not everyone is like this, but now all of our interactions have become dominated by fear. Women are fearful of men for... honestly, a lot of very valid reasons. You can't always tell which guys are gonna go crazy over a polite rejection. And a lot of men are afraid because many women have made it clear that they don't want to be approached. And for the men who at least try to be respectful, the last thing they want to do is make women uncomfortable. It feels like we're in a stalemate where if you make one wrong move, it's over. And again, I don't want to make it seem like bad things don't happen. They do. Right. I'm just saying that for Gen Z, we're putting ourselves under some unrealistically high stakes for every interaction. Oh, are you giving out free ice cream? Yep. We got chocolate and vanilla. Oh, cool. I can pick anyone I want? Sure. You can have this nice vanilla cone. It has a great personality and is very respectful. And while some people think vanilla is boring, I think it can make you really happy if you give it a chance. Okay. What about chocolate? Oh, well, chocolate is good, I guess. But while on the surface it seems more fun, it's not really the type of ice cream you want to commit to long term, honestly. Well, I don't know about all that, but chocolate is my favorite flavor. So I'll take that one, please. Okay, well, consider this. Wouldn't your mom be happier with you bringing home a nice, safe vanilla cone? Oh, my mom likes chocolate too. Can I get an extra one for her? You know what? You don't get any ice cream, actually. That's the problem with you women. You never want to give a good vanilla ice cream a chance. That's why you're going to be 40 with no ice cream at all. What was up with that guy? I don't know. I guess he just really likes vanilla. I think a big thing.
What just happened? I kind of want ice cream now. Chad, I like cookies and cream. What do you guys like? Anyways, go ahead.
Holding us back is that a lot of Gen Z are dealing with commitment issues and insecurity. But these commitment issues aren't coming from us having a lot of options, but rather everyone is afraid of being taken advantage of. It's why ghosting has become so popular for Gen Z. Because when it comes to dating, people think their feelings are the only ones that matter. It's true that you should put yourself first in your relationships, but it doesn't mean that you should disregard everyone else. There's another real human being on the other side, and they have feelings too. But since we're in this war, the other side isn't seen as a potential partner, but as an enemy to be conquered. There's this bitterness between us where it seems like some of us enjoy seeing the other side lose. Men complain about experiencing feelings of loneliness, and women applaud that and say they deserve it. And
that's so obnoxious. I get, you guys have seen those TikToks, right? Where I think someone had like their whole TikTok, or I've seen a couple girls have to delete their TikToks because they've done stuff like that, right? Because they'll get like their information leaked because they did. The one that comes to mind was when they say a moment of silence for the men who have gone from male loneliness, and then it's like someone being obnoxious and making all this noise. Man, people, I just feel like people are not iDubsing it. They need human empathy. Maybe it's because they're not 30 yet. I don't know.
Women complain about not being able to find a date, and men celebrate that. We're all struggling. But because we see each other as enemies, we can't even respect each other for trying.
Yeah.
There are people still fully fighting this gender war while being in a relationship. Hey, you still coming to happy hour with us?
I've seen people complain. I've seen women try to tear down other women, and ladies, shout out to you. When girls show what their man will do. Oh, no. I think it was a woman making breakfast for a man or something, and the comments were, "Oh, I would never do this for a man." You're doing this for a man, by the way. And it's just like, bro, they're just tearing each other down. I don't understand it, bro. It's so dumb.
Yeah, I'll be there in a bit. Just making my boyfriend some lunch. You're making food for a man.
Oh, there he's talking about it specifically.
Why are you doing that? Because
he's chicken in
my
there.
boyfriend and I love him? Yeah, but you work those long 12-hour shifts at the hospital and you're still doing all this for him. What does he do for you? Well, yeah, I do work long hours, but when I'm at work, guess who's making me dinner or walking my dog or picking me up from the hospital at 4 a.m. when I get off?
Nice.
50-50 in a relationship isn't just about money, you know? Yeah, girl, I know. I'm just looking out for you. Don't want to have to hit another ex-boyfriend with my car. Wait.
Wait, what?
Hurry up with your housewife duties. Whatever. I'll be there soon. I think for many of us in Gen Z, we're dating for the utility and not because we actually like them. A lot of guys want a girlfriend because they want emotional support, affection, and likely a sexual partner too.
Is that Goku?
And women
Wait, what
often
was
want
that?
something similar.
I
And
just
while
noticed
these are
that.
completely valid expectations to have in a relationship, they shouldn't be your only reasons for dating. There's a difference between loving someone and loving what they do for you. A lot of people don't actually know what they're even looking for in a partner out.
That's pretty huge. Man, that makes me think of a lot of things. Especially as someone who likes to do things for my partners, is like, man, have I ever been taken advantage of? Probably. Oh, I know I have, especially because, oh boy, I'm bad with money when it comes to being in a relationship. But let's just say that now I have more money than I'm single. It's not the women's fault. It's not their fault. It's my fault. I like spending money on people because, make them happy. It's a bad trait. Anyways, go ahead.
Side of these things. Some people out there are shallow, but it's probably because they themselves also don't really know what they're looking for in a partner. But just because some people have an opinion,
some people do know what they're looking for in a partner, and it's probably something shallow. So, Sometimes it is what it is.
It doesn't mean that everyone thinks that way. A lot of
True.
times you end up turning yourself down before anyone else gets the chance to. I know that a lot of men...
I've definitely done that, especially because a lot of the times I will have less confidence than I do online. Online, I'm insanely confident. I'm very cocky. It's who I am. That's the blue demon. That's the kid, baby. But when I'm offline, I am a lot more reserved. And, I've seen a lot of girls, especially at the gym, and I'm just like, you know what? That's okay. No, that's all right. Especially at the gym because, it's probably more not beneficial, but it's a better shot to not bother people. So when I see someone at the gym, I'm like, it's probably not going to work out. That's fine. I'm just going to self-reject myself now.
Feel overlooked by women, which is why I think that it's easy for some men to harbor a bit of resentment towards them. You're probably trying your best to put yourself out there just to not even get rejected, but completely ignored. Despite your best efforts to stand out, you feel totally invisible, which I think feels even worse than rejection. I have my own experiences with this. In college, there was this girl who had a crush on my roommate, and one day he told me that she felt like I didn't like her. And I was confused because I had nothing against her. We just didn't talk. The only time she ever interacted with me were to ask about my roommate and what he was doing. So I told her that she never seemed particularly interested in getting to know me. I'm a nice guy, but I don't think anyone enjoys feeling like an accessory to another person. So
I have definitely felt like that, especially because, and this is kind of silly, but my boy, one of my closest homies, he has an insanely deep voice. So when we play games with voice chat, he will get a lot of attention. At a certain point, I just stopped. At a certain point, just like, okay, whatever. But early on, it was like, man, this is okay. Well, this girl's just gonna give him attention. Who cares, right? But eventually, right, once you get your bearings and you become comfortable with yourself and become more confident, then it's just like, that's your boy. You just watch him do things, and man. I've definitely felt invisible a lot of the times when he was around. But, hey, that's my boy. Who cares, right?
I just left her alone. Eventually, my roommate ended up getting a new girlfriend, and she stopped talking to both of us. But my roommate's new girlfriend seemed far more interested in getting to know me as a friend. And she was always very inclusive towards me and was always really respectful. And they're still together to this day. Who would have thought that someone who treats others with kindness and respect would have a lasting relationship? It's not about just being nice to someone because you like them, but being a pleasant person to be around in general. You don't have to be performative or a pick-me to get attention from people. You just need to get comfortable expressing yourself around people and doing it in a way that doesn't offend others. Being nice isn't a personality.
Chat, don't go out there just being mean to people. Don't just start yelling out obscenities into a crowd. It's probably not going to work out well, which is something I need to work on. Not obscenities, but, being mean to people. I am like, God, how do I say this without incriminating myself? Actually, I'm just going to say it. I'm kind of an asshole when I first meet people, especially when I was playing League of Legends. I was super toxic. Nowadays, kind of less. Yeah. Nowadays, less. I'm more, especially like IRL. Like IRL, super reserved and just kind of standoffish and stuff like that. Nowadays, I'm very, 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 very open to talking to people. Trying to make conversations and stuff like that. So I definitely grown and changed a lot. But man, boy, oh boy, was I not a good person early on, especially early on in meeting other VTubers and other people.
You're more than just a nice person. You're you. Anyone can be a vanilla ice cream cone, but some people like sprinkles or caramel or a cherry on top. And yes, this is the second ice cream related analogy I've done on this channel. I still want ice cream. It's really hot outside. Another
it's insanely hot outside.
Divide are the endless 50-50 debates. So many people are so worried about being taken advantage of in their relationships that we've reduced them down to something purely transactional. And this leads to a lot of people acting extremely entitled. A lot of guys out there think that just because they pay for a date that a woman owes them something. And a lot of women have an expectation that men have to prove how serious they are about you through spending money. So there's this weird tug of war where each person is trying to get more while giving less.
Right.
That's not dating. That's what you do at a garage sale. And it's why acting nonchalant
It's haggling,
is so
right?
popular too. People have the impression that the happier person in a relationship is the one who cares the least. That's not how it should be.
No.
We should be going band for band with the caring. Chalant contest. Let's see who can care the hardest. I think people are tired of having to clear so many obstacles just to even get to know someone. Nowadays, there's dudes going to other countries just to get dates. Welcome back to Trad and Chad. Today, we're joined by a special guest, a real alpha male. Thanks for having me, guys. A lot of guys are struggling dating Western women. Some people think it's because of their lack of self-awareness and inability to change. But we know it's because of feminism. Absolutely. You can blame anything on women. After your third divorce, you went overseas to find your wife. Could you tell us why more young men should be doing that? It's simple, really. Western women have rights, so it makes them think that their opinions matter. Overseas, the women...
That's a strong stance, that's for sure.
Women don't ask stupid questions like, who did you vote for? Or, why are you 35 trying to date an 18-year-old? Yeah, I hate when they ask that. Western women are just jealous because overseas women appreciate masculinity. So I never have to bother with feminine things like emotional maturity or growing and changing as...
I think my mom tried to get me to be a passport bro. As weird as that sounds. Is that technically a passport bro? She wants me to get a girl from the motherland, basically, right? Like, it's... She's like, you know what? How about a nice girl from, you know, back home? I'm like, maybe. I don't know. I just hope they don't use me, you know. I see those videos, or what is it? God, there's shows where they like try to get green cards through marriage. It's like, oh God, I hope that doesn't happen to me. And my mom's like, oh, you're kind of right, maybe.
A person. Facts, brother.
Shout out to
a good wife should
Blue
never
Demon
challenge
Mom.
you on anything ever. She should constantly enable all of your behaviors. Exactly. As an alpha male, I'm already perfect and have no room to grow.
Oh God.
It's time to hear from this week's sponsor, Blue Rhino Male Enhancement Pills.
Oh.
It's the only blue pill you'll ever need. Because when life gets hard, we get harder. Bro, I thought you were done watching these guys. Okay, but he was low-key spitting though. Relationships can be scary because they require a certain amount of vulnerability. And opening yourself up to someone means that you have to trust them not to hurt you, whether that be emotionally.
Here's the thing, right? I kind of get the passport bro things because, you know, some other places are traditional, but like, maybe I don't make enough money to know. You know what? Let's just just keep going. I don't know.
Or even physically. I can't speak for women here, but for a lot of guys I know, one of their biggest fears in dating is being settled for. No one likes being the safe option, the plan B. So I noticed that a lot of male dating advice tends to be some sort of insurance policy against this. And I understand. When you look at yourself and you know you're not the tallest guy or the hottest guy or the guy with the most money, sometimes you might think, why would she choose me first? A lot of dudes are walking around with that thought in the back of their heads, and not for completely imaginary reasons either. That's why a performative man is also one who's deeply insecure. Inside, you don't feel like you'll ever meet the absurdly high requirements to date. So you try to become someone you're not just to get a chance. It's why I think a lot of content creators who are women are popular. I'm not just to get a chance. It's why I think a lot of content creators who are women.
Is that Smug Babana? That's her, bro.
Are popular. I'm not saying these are all pick-me women who only appeal to men, and I'm not saying their viewers are desperate for female attention. I'm saying that many men are used to hostility from women, and sometimes it can be a good thing to hear a woman on the internet sympathize with your experience. I
mean, oh God, especially when it comes to VTubers, bro. Okay. Again, I this is something I could talk about because I am not only a VTuber, but I'm a VTuber fan. I'm a fan first. Chat. There's how do I say this? There's nothing better than turning on Narissa's Ravencroft and hearing her her motherly sensibilities and loving, right? then now there's also like other girls that I watch, like Mari_en, who isn't that kind. She's more of a obnoxious little sister. It's still good, right? Still good. Smug Alana, Alana's kind of also like a sister type, right? It just feels, I don't know, it fills the void to have VTubers, right? I get you guys. I get you guys, because I'm there with you. You know, when you guys are up late at night watching VTuber clips, guess who's also watching them? Your boy. I'm watching them, chat. You know, when Mari_en goes live, I'm there too, brother. I'm there getting ready for work, because she kind of comes on kind of late, so yeah.
The problem comes when men externalize those feelings and then take it out on women. And even in communities centered around women.
There's a lot of commented on this. That reminds me. Sorry, that kind of like threw me off guard that Alana's in it.
Their audiences are still mostly men. So sometimes they can become echo chambers that reinforce a lot of the ideas that push women away in the first place. I think for both men and women, we look for support from our peers to help us cope with our struggles in interacting with the other side.
Guys, that's Barking Zero. That's $7 I'm never getting back.
Understand the issues they face. Women don't fully understand the depth of the challenges men face, and men are blind to what women experience on a daily basis. So sometimes we say things that are a bit insensitive to each other's struggles, and that's what keeps pushing us apart. But as bad as things can get sometimes, I don't think Gen Z is completely hopeless. I think the majority of us have all reached the conclusion that dating apps are garbage and honestly a little dehumanizing. Even the companies—
I never understood the idea of the dating apps, right? I always felt like they were either probably full of bots or people trying to sell something, so I never ended up using them. I don't know. Chad, did you guys have any luck with dating apps
that claim to give women the power have been trying to shame them into jumping into the sea of desperate men that they've created? We're starting to desire more sincere connections over convenience. And Gen Z is even willing to put in the extra effort to do so. We just don't know how. So when you're a not creepy guy looking to improve his relationship with women, you might not even know where to start. And I think the first step is understanding one key concept. Women are people too. I know it sounds simple, but
I don't know about all. No, I'm just kidding. Someone was gonna make the joke. I figured I might as well make the joke eventually, right? This is what I always do, especially with women that I'm not interested in, and women who are, I don't date. I do just treat them like one of the boys, which kind of annoy them because, me and my boys are kind of toxic towards each other. But I mean, that's just kind of like any kind of male friend group, right? It's just a bunch of boys just talking shit to each other. And, I'll talk shit to a lot of my friends and bother them. Just, be silly and goofy. But, yeah, talking to women is not as hard as you might think it is, right? I think, especially if you want to, find a lovely lady in your life, I think getting female friends and just, talking to them and just getting used to that experience is probably your best bet, right? And who knows? One of them might be someone that you could like.
Guys seem to think that women are a completely different species, which is why a lot of guys seem to have this idea that in order to get a girl, you have to trick her into liking you. The problem is women are smart. Oftentimes smarter than you. So
definitely smarter than me. Absolutely.
Really gonna get you anywhere.
I am a dumbass.
All right, bro. I got my matcha, my black nail polish, and my Labubu keychain. I'm ready to finally get some girls. Sorry, bro. Performative method got patched. Already?
Damn.
But I got matcha. Patched. Black nail polish? Hard nerfed. Even the Labubu?
At the very least, you could still enjoy the matcha. Matcha's pretty good.
Already vaulted, bro. The Labubu method is vaulted? Bro, that was my conversation starter. We need a new meta, bro. These girls catch on quick these days. Bro, being a male manipulator is hard.
Oh.
I'm gonna go back to being myself. Excuse
It's not hard. It's easy to do.
Excuse me. Did someone here order a record player and 14 Claro vinyls? Oh, you can just take those back. I won't be needing them anymore. It sounds cliche, but you should genuinely just be yourself.
Does anyone know who this anime girl is, by the way? Sorry, I've been staring at her the whole time, and I don't know who this is.
And I know that's hard when social media constantly tells you you aren't good enough, but you don't have to fake being someone you're not just to get women to talk to you. You shouldn't need a meta build just to play the game. That ruins all the fun.
Actually, chat, there is a meta build. And it's insanely corny, and it's called being yourself. because at the end of the day, you are you. It's kind of the best thing you're good at, so you might as well perfect that build and take it into a bunch of lobbies.
We're missing are genuine friendships between men and women. I think if we started talking to each other again, we'd have a better idea of what we both expect from each other.
I think so.
I know a lot of guys don't trust women with their more vulnerable side because they're afraid that women will either use that to hurt them or see them as weak and leave them. But I think in reality, a lot of women are very sympathetic to the male experience. Despite the conversation online, I think a lot of men really value a woman's perspective on a lot of things. It can be very reassuring to hear something positive about yourself from a woman who isn't your mom.
100%.
However, just as men don't want women to take advantage of our vulnerability, we shouldn't take advantage of theirs. A lot of women who are open to bonding with men often have the same issue. As soon as you allow a guy to get close, he decides that he's in love with you. Now it's awkward. If you're a guy trying to become...
Boy. Don't look at me like that, chat. We've all done it. Don't. I don't want to hear it, okay? I can feel you glaring at me. It wasn't a one-time thing. It was a few times. Oh, God. To be fair, one of them worked out. It didn't work out, but it lasted a while. Anyways.
Become better friends with women, don't be so desperate that you fall in love with any woman who's somewhat nice to you. Sometimes women just want to exist, but they're often in the impossible situation where a guy they thought was their friend ends up confessing to her. And then when she rejects him, he stops talking to her. So you can see how it's difficult for women to become friends with men too. But then the question is, when is it appropriate to talk to a woman you might be interested in? And I won't lie, this is hard because respectfully, women are kind of bad at shooting their shot. Most guys aren't the best either, but women take it to a whole nother level. They either come on way too strong or more often, barely at all. So how was it hanging out with that guy you liked the other day? Did he make a move? It was fine. I just don't think he's interested in me at all. Really? Why do you say that? I mean, I gave him the most obvious sign and he didn't even do anything. Hey, it's been hot lately, so I figured I'd stop and get some drinks on the way here. This one's your favorite, right? Oh yeah, I love these. Thank you. Oh, that is so obvious. Men are so dumb. I know, right? Maybe he likes boys. After years of terrible
wait a minute.
online dating,
Wait a minute, brother.
We should be a bit more open to approaching.
Let's go find shit.
Someone finding you attractive shouldn't be scary or embarrassing. I know a lot of us hate being perceived at all, but you don't have to ask someone to marry you as soon as you meet them. It honestly could just be as simple as asking for an opportunity to get to know someone better casually. And this doesn't only apply to dating, but to friendships too. You're not going to be someone's best friend day one, but maybe extending an invitation to hang out with someone new could be the start. Women aren't the single solution to male loneliness. It starts with us. And men aren't the single solution to women's problems. I know that when you're a young guy who tries his best to be respectful, it can sometimes be hurtful to hear some of the things women say about men. And a lot of guys like to say, not all men. I agree that it's not okay for women to say some of these things too. But I also think that it's important that we make an active effort to be a part of the solution. So many guys are afraid of seeming like a simp or a pick-me that they fail to stand up for women when given the opportunity. I'm not saying you need to be a white knight and swoop in to save a damsel in distress, but you can help women see men in a more positive light on an individual level by doing your best to make sure they feel safe and comfortable around you.
I am definitely doing my part to make it worse. Sorry, go ahead.
I think you'll find that women who trust you will also stand up for you too. I think it's important
joke,
that
Chad,
we're
please.
more open to understanding instead of arguing, which is why I want to say that I didn't make this video because I have the answer to ending this gender war. I just wanted to share my own perspective as a Gen Z guy on what we're facing. I know some people might think that this video oversimplified a lot of things, and you're probably right, but I hope that I can at least help make the conversation a little more productive.
Right.
And I know that I focused on the male perspective a lot as well. Unfortunately, IP standing up, so I can't speak too in depth about the women's point of view.
That's kind of locked in there.
Out there can also help contribute to the discussion. Maybe some of those creators I mentioned earlier. People love to talk about how Gen Z is cooked as a generation, but I think people just have a lot to say because we're the first generation growing up with a comment section. But for Gen Z men and women, I don't think we should be on two different teams. We belong on the same team, fighting together against things like loneliness and heartbreak. Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe and follow me on Twitter. Peace.
That was a great video. I'm going to actually sub to this guy. Chat. At the end of the day, it's, it's not all men. It's not all women. Everything has to be through an individual case-by-case basis, right? You don't want to just treat people like, someone's, like everyone's did you wrong. Not everyone deserves to be, not everyone deserves to be treated as if they did you wrong, right? That's not being fair to everybody. But, chat, at the end of the day, you gotta, I don't know what the word I'm looking for. Sorry, I'm really tired. What's the closing message? Chat, be yourself, especially when you talk to women or when you talk to like someone that you're really interested in. And chat will probably work out for people. Or at the end of the day, it probably won't. I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. There's a loneliness epidemic and everyone else is trying their best. So that's all that really matters. Chat, try your best. That's the ending message. Chat, comment, like, subscribe, I'll catch you gamers. And the next one, this video messed up halfway through, so I'm going to put an ending. Bye.